Welcome back. We're here with another video. This week we're gonna go through the upcoming earnings of Google. This is not financial advice, it's just me sharing my own journey here on my own stock positions here on YouTube. So it's been about 2-3 months since I went through this position lastly. I have a pretty big stock position in Google. About a third or a fourth of my stock portfolio consists of my Google position. I've had the position for 2-3 years, and this last year is when it performed. Went really good. We are up maybe 80% on the position. I've had a fear in my mind that this position is about to get overvalued, and I've made my calculations on it a few times the last couple of months. But right now, going into earnings, from what I can see, it seems that the analysts have really up projected their growth numbers. So when I review my own Excel sheet here, it seems like I'm off by a couple of percentages on each of the vital company segments. So we're going to review the calculation and valuation a little bit. And as usual, I will have this Excel sheet down in the description if you want to follow along or make your own valuation on the stock. So going into earnings, we are expecting a revenue of a total of 111 billion on the quarter, which is up 15.5% year on year. This is the expectation. And earnings per share, we're expecting $2.64, up 23% year over year. These are massive numbers considering Google's size. Google Cloud revenue, which will be the star of the show. Here we expect a jump of 35.9%. This has been one of the reasons that Google has not gotten any love in the market. It's the fact that they have not really capitalized or gained any market share in the cloud universe, so to say. But right now, Gemini is the star boy, and they are capturing a lot of market out there. And as you can see here from the last 6 quarters, they have really accelerated growth for the last 4 quarters. So Q2 2024, 28, 22.5, really bad quarter here. And then we go 25, 28, 32, 34. Really good numbers. They are really expecting a good quarter on the cloud segment here. Analysts expect 30-35%. In my own Excel sheet, I have calculated on a 30% growth rate here, but more on that later. This is a very big number, important for the analysts in the upcoming earnings call. Overall, on the 2 big segments, they have 3 segments. They have the search, they have the Google Cloud, and they have the other bets. So those are the 3 segments that they report on. So in Google services, they're expecting about a 13% growth there. And it both is with the search and with YouTube. So in total, they're expecting a 13% growth here. And it's also fueled by their new partnership with Apple, where they will gain good profits about the Gemini integration inside of iPhones. So this is also one big thing that has made them to raise the growth rates inside of the Google Services Now segment, which is their biggest segment. So looking at the valuation here, we have the Google Services segment where they have the Google One subscriptions, the Android, the YouTube, and most importantly, the Google Search. So historically, I've calculated in a 10% growth rate here, but now it looks like the market are expecting about a 13% growth rate here, which is way higher. And from what if we would to change this to 13% instead for the upcoming 5 years and then back to 10% after 5 years, so that would be 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. So if we change the growth rate here to 13% instead for the upcoming 5 years, yeah, that will affect the valuation slightly, about 10% or so. And for the cloud here, I have calculated a 25% growth rate, and that looks very modest right now. If I would change that to, let's say, 35 instead for the upcoming 5 years, so 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. And if we go to the share price table here, right now, instead of landing on about 1400 at 2036, we land at about 1686. And if we put an expected rate of return on 15% on that number, which we do by dividing it into 4, we end up at 421. That is the price that we would pay for the stock today, expecting at least a 15% return on the stock if all of these numbers were to come true. Google services at 13% growth rate for the upcoming 5 years, 10% onward. Google Cloud for 35% for the upcoming 5 years and 25% onward. And other bets, it doesn't really matter with the other bets here. It's such a small portion of their overall business. Then the fair value of the stock today would be $421. And that is not counting in their TPU business, which probably has a lot of value inside of it. Mostly, I guess, it will be very valuable for all their other businesses that they have. That they have a big edge due to the fact that they produce their own chips and they're going to be able to be very effective across the board and hopefully outperform greatly over time. So Google is a fantastic business. They've had quite a ride now for the last half a year or so. They went from 140, 150 up to 340. That's over 100% gain there. Big, but it's a beautiful business. They're doing very well, shooting on every cylinder, and right now they are looking very, very fine. But we are not gonna pay any price for this stock, so 420, that could be a fairly reasonable fair value for this business. And considering that stock price, we still have some way to go because the stock is at 340 right now. That is about 20-25% upside from today's prices. I don't like when stocks have made this well over time sitting in them, but I have a good price on my stocks and I do think there's more runway to it. Hopefully they will perform on this report and hopefully they will not run away too fast, too aggressive, so we can sit steady in this stock for many years to come. That's all for this video. I hope you liked it. Do you have any questions? Drop them down below. Elsewise, I'm gonna see you next week. I'm gonna post here weekly from now on, and I hope you enjoy the content. Have a great day.